Welcome back to Quick Hits, the podcast where we explore the latest trends and innovations in healthcare technology. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, joined by Ken Booth. On this episode of Quick Hits, we're joined by Rebecca Woods, founder of Bluebird Leaders, a movement dedicated to empowering women in healthcare IT to lead boldly, support one another, and rise together. Rebecca shares the story behind Bluebird Leaders, where it started, how it's grown into a powerful community, and why lifting up the next generation of women leaders in healthcare isn't just important, it's essential. From personal branding to parenting to imposter syndrome, this conversation covers the real challenges women face as they navigate complex careers in healthcare tech, and how Bluebird Leaders is helping to break down those barriers. Rebecca also shares her honest advice on building your presence online, showing up authentically, and treating your personal brand like a professional asset. Whether you're already in leadership or just beginning to find your voice, Rebecca's mission and her message will inspire you to step into your power and bring others with you. Let's get into it.
Welcome to another episode of Quick Hits. I'm your host, Ken Booth, joined as always by Tyler Smith. Tyler, how are you today?
Great to be here, Ken.
Yeah, good to have you, and really excited about our guest. Today we are interviewing Rebecca Woods. She is the founder of Bluebird Leaders. Rebecca, welcome to Quick Hits.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Happy to be here.
We're really looking forward to the conversation. And, to kick things off, we're hoping that you could tell us a little bit about the journey that led you to founding or Bluebird Leaders. And then maybe as a secondary part of that, what gaps you're hoping to fill in the healthcare IT space.
Yeah. So what founded it is I became a CIO very young. I was 30 years old, and I went to my first Chime fall forum, which everyone in the industry knows about or should go to fall forum and or boot camp. Went down to the first mixer, and the men turned around with their beards and whiskeys, as you will, and asked me what I did for Chime. Did not assume that I was a CIO. And I kind of looked around and realized there wasn't a lot of females and colleagues I could look up to. And so I think that's where the fire started. And fast forward lots of years later, and I have two girls myself now, and have been helping a lot of startups with their go-to-market. And I helped a nonprofit, and I was like, that was easy to get that going. And so it was right as COVID was lifting, we launched Bluebird Leaders. It's 3 years now this month. And we're creating a community to have more women in IT and healthcare IT, and just trying to not have the younger generation sort of step in the same pile of mud or gear them and mentor them, and also help each other rise, because as we all know, when you get to the top, and it's a lot lonelier than you ever imagined. So we're all here to help each other on the nest.
That's a crazy story too, in a lot of ways, because there is a little bit of age bias as well. So I remember being 30 and feeling like I wasn't taken seriously because I looked like I was 25, and and then I was a male, so I can only imagine what that experience was like. So definitely thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and congratulations on 3 years. You said 3 years this month, right?
Yeah, 3 years this month. We now have just shy of 5,000 followers and over 250 paying members. And we're about to have our 4th annual conference this year in Boulder, Colorado. If you care to join us, we have about 100 tickets left. It's September 24th to 26th, and there'll be about 300 birdies flocking to the nest there. And we have a pink dress awards gala the second night and some rock star speakers. So we're excited to kick off the 4th one.
Wow, excellent. Well, congratulations again on that. That's really great to hear. What's the mission statement of Bluebird Leaders?
Creating a community for more women in IT and healthcare IT. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you're all about empowering women in the digital health and IT space. what does that look like in action? And I mean, you kind of touched on what it's like right now and what you're trying to avoid in the future, but if we could just
Yeah.
dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, so right now on the Nest, of course, we have the big annual conference. We also have a leadership retreat that will be our third year in April of 2026. It's been international the first 2 years. We did it in Aruba, so we've successfully
Whoa,
we've pulled that off.
nice.
In
Very nice.
26, we're coming to Florida. A lot of people just need something stateside, so we have our leadership retreat. We also have a membership, and within that, we have PJ parties, special webinars. We have peer groups, which is like a mentor group on steroids. We have a mentor and mentee program that is just open enrollment, and we pair people up with just kick-ass other women or male allies as well. Definitely want to point out that we are not a male hater group. We love our male allies. We've routinely had about 30% male attendees at our annual conference, and we have them as members in the group. And they also have been starting to do these pop-up dinner parties, which you all got at Health Data Movers, got a chance to see in action. Our first one in Boston, we had over 42 people and the lights went out. So we threw a party with no electricity and it was awesome.
And that was a planned electricity outage to bring people together.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful that the little Thai restaurant we were at had their sister hospital down the street. I mean, hospital. Oh my God, restaurant down the street, because that's where they just ended up making our dinner. So it went off without a glitch, except the lights.
And you said Aruba was a location.
Yeah.
In the waiting room, we talked about that you surf. So, are there
Yeah.
any locations coming up where the birdies will be able to hit the waves?
Oh my God. Well, anybody can come to Portsmouth anytime and we can surf or paddleboard. We actually locally in Portsmouth have been doing coffee meetups. There's one this Wednesday actually at my favorite coffee shop. I don't know, the leadership retreat April 2026 is in Sandestin, Florida. I cannot
Okay.
speak to how the waves are there, but it is, pretty close to the water. So but yeah, if you want to help us plan a surf retreat, I'm down. That would
Yeah.
be so much fun. I know a bunch of people scuba, so maybe we just do like an ocean combination, something fun.
Hey, sign me
Oh yeah,
up. I'm
I'm
ready to
in.
be an ally and be part of the 30%.
I love it.
Wait, I just need to double check. The pink dress is optional, right? For the
Yeah,
male
you know
allies.
what?
Okay.
Well, yes, it's however you want to show up, right? We can't
Got it.
we don't discriminate, but I can tell you the story about that. So last year, I take my kiddos to a conference every year. I mean, God, a concert
You're
every
just in
year.
pure healthcare mode. The
I
restaurant became a
know.
hospital. The
I'm
concert became a
my
conference.
last call was with a client, and yeah, we were just all about healthcare. So I take them to a concert every year. Last year, I took them to Pink, which was
Ah,
awesome, in Foxborough Stadium, and they all got dressed up like crazy. And if you know me, I like to be comfortable, so I just ended up buying these pink sparkly shoes. Well, I posted about the pink sparkly shoes on LinkedIn. It went viral, and everybody showed up with pink sparkly shoes, pink clothes. It was crazy in Atlanta last year with over 150 people. And the male allies that are on the Nest like to get a little sassy. I'll call out Mike Mosquito and Larry O'Toole. And they were like, well, men can't wear pink sparkly shoes. And I threw it back at them and found these pink sparkly male loafers on Amazon and said, if you're coming to SOAR, which is the name of the conference, you better show up in these shoes. And they did. And so I already have people texting me about their shoes for the conference this September and what they're going to wear. And so I can tell you for the conference, no, a pink dress is not required, but you probably want to have some pink on, otherwise you're going to stand out.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
Ken, I can see you looking good in a pink polo. I used to have a lot
Hey,
when I
Yeah.
was.
oh, absolutely. One of my favorite
Yeah,
golf shirts is pink,
yeah.
actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
no, that's great. You mentioned something a little bit ago. You mentioned the mentor program.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what kind of success
Yeah.
have you seen with that?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can actually measure the success, But we started out, we've always had at least 10 people enrolled. I think we're up to 20 or 25 pairs right now. And it's, you know, amazing CIOs or executive VPs giving back and mentoring the younger generation. And it's just fascinating to see what happens. And I think that when I speak to the mentors, they talk about just how much the mentees give back to them, and they think that
Mhm.
they get more back, right? Like, I just end up learning so much more from the next generation, but able to coach them. And it's really just a wonderful 50-50, you know, arrangement. We also bring in special speakers for the mentor and mentees, and encourage them to jump on those calls, because it's a really great networking call for all of the mentees to be communicating together, right? And getting to know each other, because I
Mhm.
wouldn't be here without the network that I've worked hard to create, and the personal brand that I've worked hard to create. And so, really encouraging them to start early, and eventually, you won't have to apply for a job. It will just end up arriving in the mail for you, or across the
Sure.
email, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a few jobs that I have that the last couple I didn't apply to, and that's the goal,
Hmm.
that you build your network up enough. And part of that mentor mentee program is getting to know the senior VPs, but then also what's up and coming, and so that we can help each other out.
It really is amazing how much mentorship just changes your whole career trajectory. And it's also super, what a coincidence that one of my mentors lives in Portsmouth.
Mm,
And it is like, I was able to, I didn't really have any mentors until around the age of 30 when I went to business school, and that's where I got it. And it's just so incredible you're creating this forum, because, going to business school is awesome. That's 2 years, and that's a lot that takes out of your, it helps with your career, but also takes you out to the sidelines. And the
yep.
fact that you've created something where you can continue, forward, and you continue have a salary, but also develop this actual network of mentors. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's just really nice to be able to give back. And I can actually speak to, I worked for an advisory firm over a year ago now, and when I was asked to come over to that advisory firm, Ed Marks, who a lot of people know in the industry, he just called me up, right, and said, "Hey, I know what you do. I know what you're all about." He actually was one of my speakers at the SOAR conference that year. I need you to help me at this firm, and I followed him, right, and I didn't have to formally apply, and that's really what it's about. I mean, to be honest, men have been doing this for countless number of years, and so it's time for us to catch up, as you will, and be able to help each other out.
Yeah, and that actually leads me to ask, and we've sort of talked about this a little bit as we've gotten to this point in the conversation, but what are some of the unique challenges you see women facing in healthcare technology leadership today, and how do you help them navigate those challenges?
I, I mean, there's always the difficult conversation ones that we could go into or give examples to, and I just try to lead with kindness, and be authentic, and um, I don't know, avoid those as much as we can, or support each other as much as we can. Um, but it's finding, as a leader, I think finding the diamonds in the rough, whether you're a male or female, and really figuring out their superpowers and then placing them in the right places. I mean, I think that's what really good leaders do, and executives should be doing, as well as, I was just down at Inova this last week with Matt Cull, and he's just the premier example of a leader working himself out of a job. He's already talked about individual that is going to end up having his job when he's done as being CIO of one of the largest, healthcare organizations, and he's helping train her up, and learning, and coaching her through everything. And I just think those are the leaders that we want to have on the nest and cultivate, and help out, so that we're creating space and really finding everyone's superpowers so that they can be successful in the industry. There's so much to do here. We don't have time to mess around.
Sure, sure. With that example of Matt Cole, and love
Yeah.
Inova, I lived in Northern Virginia as a child, so went there a couple times for some from accidents of
Yeah.
horse or
Mhm.
horseplay.
Yeah.
But so with as he's basically, like you said, he's making himself replaceable or
Yeah.
not needed. Can you expand a little bit on that? I think it speaks to inclusivity, but also like a really self-awareness, and also like true removal of self, and how do leaders get to that point where they can be comfortable doing that workflow?
Well, some never will. Some never will. I mean, I know a leader, a few in the industry that are, terrified of the up and comings and might take their job before they're ready to leave. And honestly, I think that's just truly unfortunate. I think there's enough work out there for all of us. That's how I led actually when I was CIO in Vermont. I, they always used to say, "Why do you say you're going to leave in 3 to 5 years?" And like, because if I do, then that means I've done my job appropriately. And I always knew I would never stay in Vermont. And so finding the individuals and putting them in the right seat in the bus. And I'll give you a few examples. So in my almost 5 years there, I went through three executive assistants. One went on to work directly for the VP of marketing under him. Another one is actually a CIO at a local bank. And my third example is this gentleman named Ray that came to me one day and set up just a random meeting. And he said, "I'm super interested in computers. I really want to learn this. I have no experience. Um, but I've been working in the lab for 10 years on night shift, and I really just want to be with my boys, my family, and I'm eager to learn." And so for me, it's not all about the books and what you have on paper. It's really seeing that fire in individuals. And he became one of our top network engineers, because he was so eager to learn. And so I think that's what we really need to do as leaders, is see where their fire is, and what gets people excited, and ask them what they really want to be when they grow up, and help them get there. And that's when people are going to work the hardest, because they are joyful and so thankful. And as a leader, you're finding that person in your succession planning to take your job. And that's what I did in Vermont, and left, and went on to become an entrepreneur. But they're all still there, because their family's there, their grandparents are there, they're rooted there, right? So um, I just think that's what our purpose is as a leader.
Yeah, and so you see the fire. That's a key component.
Yeah.
Um, and then what are some other patterns you see in those who thrive as leaders versus those who plateau?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's finding people's fire. I think that also being a good leader is building trust amongst your team. I see a lot of leaders that don't allow their employees to fail. Or I have a client where this individual is too scared to fail, terrified to fail. And actually, she needs to fail to realize that it's okay. And she will actually do amazing things when she gives herself the chance to fail. And so it's that fear of failure, and putting that at ease, knowing that even if pull the wrong wire out, or you delete all the dictionaries, or whatever it might be, that it's fixable. And it's going to be okay, as long as we also learn from our mistakes, and keep moving forward. So I think it's learning from mistakes, also building trust in your employees, which that does as well, and meeting people where they are, with especially post COVID, and we're working remote, we're not working remote, we're in the office. Everybody has something going on behind the curtain, is what I tell my daughters all the time. And so, kind of recognizing that, and helping people. I also have always said that the people we work with are more like just as much part of my family as my family is, because I probably talk to them more than I do my kids, on any given day. And so, just treating them with kindness, and helping them out when they have family problems too, which again just builds that trust, and that circle, so that um, the organization can be more successful.
That's great. I just enjoy listening to two leaders talk about their experiences here. Just a question when it comes to balancing. I mean, because there's a balance to be had, right? And I think that whether it's societal expectations or just because they have the ability. It seems like women are always asked to balance so much when they choose to embark on the path of leadership. How do you find the balance?
I don't. It's freaking chaos. Are you kidding me?
It's chaos.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard right now. I'm in the thick of it. I have a 9 and 12-year-old. I have my 12-year-old is a very, very good ballerina. And so we
Mm,
drive an hour, 3 days a week for her practice. And she does about 12 hours a week of ballet. My other one does gymnastics and springboard diving. Meanwhile, we were really smart and decided to get a puppy. So I have that, like almost another child going on. For me, I have non-negotiables, and I'm also super lucky that I work for home and I work for myself. And so
mhm.
for me, it's not a 9 to 5, and I'm okay with that. I work around the girl's schedule. And when Lenny's at dance from 5 to 8, I'm working. I work from 5 to 8, but that allows me to have my non-negotiable, and I think everybody should have a non-negotiable. Mine is I don't take calls before 9 a.m. I bring my girls to school. I listen to them fight about what we're going to listen to, whether we should get Starbucks, if we're going to eat breakfast, that we forgot our shoes, all that fun stuff. um, and then I walk the dog, and then I start my day. But then I'm also working, late at night. And on Sundays, she dances from 9 to 3. And so I bring her down there and I stay and I work on Sundays. And that's understandably my choice, but it allows me to be present with them and break up their fights or whatever, do their hair buns or whatever it is, and be present during the week, during the 2 to 3:30 pickup time or whatever it might be. So yeah, I mean, anybody that says it's you know roses and all of that when you're a mom and the young kids running around, and for me running two businesses at the same time, I mean, I think they're fooling you. But I just think you have to find a balance in your crazy,
Mhm.
and times to sort of stop and take a breath, right? So we were up at the beach at my mother-in-law's yesterday for Father's Day, and I did not bring my laptop. I sat in the sun and we went down to the beach and put our feet in the sand. And so even if it's a few minutes or an hour, and just you enjoy it more, and smell the roses when you can, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you express it that way because, yeah, like controlled chaos and just kind of finding, but just
Yeah.
taking those moments though. That's so important that you took,
Yeah.
because I know it's a brave. It takes a lot to actually leave the laptop home. So to be able to do
Yes.
that for a day and just kind of de-stress and reset
Yep.
and catch some rays, that I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, controlled chaos for sure. Because if anyone says it's like easy, and it's not, and it's not. It is. It's chaos. And we forget the sports bag, or we forget the lunch, or whatever it might be. But
Right.
I also think, for me, it's being a good mentor to my kids and showing them that mommy can run her own company, which they're extremely proud of, and they get how important, especially Bluebird Leaders is. Um, but at the same time, I can be there for them and be a good mom. And so I, put in things in place for them as well, so that um, they can't just get everything that they want. I have a couple rules as a mom. I think other moms maybe can relate or take it. So I allow them one hooky day a year. They can use it whenever they want during the school year and just call hooky, and they're not going to school that day, but they only get one. I
Oh.
allow them one lunchbox, like I forgot my lunchbox day, which means I will like go back to the house and bring them lunch. But if you forget lunch, then you're getting whatever hot lunch mush is getting served. um, and I allow them one, like I forgot my bag, my homework, like whatever, that might be. And those are, throughout the whole school year. But it's also, like my older one forgot her computer again for a second time, and she's texting me, and I'm like, you know what? You're shit out of luck, kid. What would you,
Yeah.
Oh.
what would you do if you
Yeah.
were working for a company?
Right.
So putting it in that perspective for them, they get it, and it's a hard lesson to learn. But my older one time forgot her dance bag. She had a dance in her uniform from school. She was so mad at me, but I think
I bet
it's
she won't forget it
lesson.
again, huh?
That's my point. So
Yep.
yeah, it's putting that in place too.
I love the one day of hooky. It reminds me of my sister's favorite movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, it's
Which
not that kind of day.
okay. So they don't get to take the car and cruise into
No,
the city.
I don't
Okay.
have one of those cars yet, so no, they're not that lucky.
Let's take a quick break. At Health Data Movers, we know that data migration isn't just about moving information from point A to point B. It's about making sure your clinical and operational data is accurate, accessible, and secure, so your teams can focus on delivering care, not chasing records. Whether you're consolidating systems, switching EHRs, or sunsetting legacy data platforms, our data migration experts help you move confidently through complex transitions. We bring proven tools, repeatable processes, and deep healthcare experience to make your migration seamless. If you're planning a system change or even thinking about one, let's talk. You can learn more at healthdatamovers.com. Now, back to the show.
Well, let's kind of talk. Let's get back to kind of some of the individuals that you're helping.
Mm,
We've got an aspiring leader listening. What advice can you give to healthcare IT professionals who want to build that strong professional network? Hopefully leading to a leadership engagement or a leadership role. They don't know how to start. Aside from joining Bluebird Leaders, what else can they do to get involved in either? Especially since we live in like a hybrid environment, it's a little bit
yeah,
harder to have that FaceTime.
yeah. Okay, I love this question because I'm a big proponent on it, and I wouldn't be where I am today without like craftily listening to people, mentors, and following. And so, one, I'd say, uh, I tell people don't ever burn a bridge. As much as you want to probably just like light the place on fire at some organizations you might that you work at. Don't do it. Go off with with kindness, because as we know in the healthcare IT industry, it's a really small world.
Very.
Yeah.
And so I've had a couple times now where somebody I've worked with is then my boss, or I'm their boss, or don't burn a bridge. As well as, I cannot stress enough to everybody, this is not just for the females out there, to craftfully build your personal brand, because that is almost as sacred as your blood type or your social security number. um, and you can promote the company you work with, and everything you have, and what you believe in, but building your personal brand and building that network, especially in our virtual world, is super important. As I probably take virtually 3 to 5 new calls a week of people
Mm.
I've never talked to before. And a lot of that is to build Bluebird Leaders, right? But it's also building my personal brand in terms of meeting them. Who can they connect me with? Who can I help connect them with? Are they looking for a job? Maybe I know somebody. So I'm just that alter connector. And you can be an introvert and build your personal brand too, right? You don't have to have 3 to 5 new calls a week. You can message people and do all that on LinkedIn. Um, as well as, now that there's conferences and everything, I encourage people to get out there and build that brand. Nothing builds a brand quicker than going and breaking bread,
Mm.
and really interacting with people, which is why I love being a Chime executive advisor and going and co-hosting the innovation summits right now, and spending almost 2 days with 50 plus people and getting to know them, getting to know what they're doing, where they might be going, and just connecting with them. So whether it's part of your hymns, local chapter, or there's a coffee meetup like Bluebird does, I just think in the industry or outside the industry, building your brand helps the
Mhm.
company that you're working for, and keep it sacred, right? It helps you as well.
Yeah, it's so amazing too how it really is the conferences and the coffees are great, but also those one-on-one interactions that you're
Yeah.
talking about. You take like three calls.
Yeah.
And basically, as folks do that, maybe as a follow-up, like how do people decide what their actual brand is that they want to put forth in those, arenas? Like how do
Yeah.
you help people discover their personal brand?
I don't think your brand has to just be like, it's blue, it's pink, it's purple, it's yellow. Like, I think it can jump around based on what is getting you excited that month, that day. There's posts that I will go and post and loop around to what we do in the industry, but something will spark me today, which will encourage me to post about something in particular, right? So I don't think it has to be like scripted. I think it's better when it's unscripted, to be bluntly honest. But I think too many people are too shy to post what they're thinking because they're worried what others think. And I'm the first person to say, F what others think, be your own like authentic self, because I cannot tell you over the course of definitely starting Bluebird Leaders how many silent listeners have come up to me and said, I love what you're posting. I've been following you for years. I could not wait to meet you in person. And I've never seen, or talked to these people before. And so as you get out there and start posting more, you're going to have these silent listeners, and you're moving or more influential to them than you even know, because you don't realize they're out there, but they are. So
Love that. So Ken, who are our silent listeners? If you're there, please DM Ken and me.
Yeah, please.
yes,
Would love to hear
yes,
from
there's
you.
so many.
No,
There's so
there's a
many.
mantra on different social media. Like sometimes you'll have a creator, content creator, just say, "Look, post the content. Just do
Yeah,
it," because
yeah,
you'll never be able to, like, you can't perfect your message in
yes,
a silo. You're going to need that feedback. You need to start engaging with people so that your message can evolve and you can figure out exactly what people need to hear. And I
right.
agree with the authenticity thing as well. There's a balance between scripted and unscripted to be
Yeah.
had, but yeah, post the content.
Yeah, I mean, my one I spoke about, like going to the Pink concert and with my pink shoes. I mean, I got more likes, comments, whatever on that than if I go post about something happening in healthcare IT using AI right now.
There you go.
It's just crazy. So, I mean, yeah, and don't think twice about it, right? There's a reason why I love my husband, but I don't take him car shopping, because we will think twice or third times or four times about the car that I want. And so I leave him at home and I go get my own car because sometimes you just can't think twice about it. You just have to post it. And you know what I also want to say is that when you're building your personal brand, don't go out and count the likes or the follow, like all of that,
Mm,
because it can kind of like beat you up, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like just go out and post what you're thinking. It takes a while for people to really start following you. I drink the Kool-Aid of Gary V, if you've ever gone and listened
Hmm.
to any
I
of
have.
his. Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, it's taken me a while to post 3 to 5 times a week and to get people to follow or and build up Bluebird Leaders, right? That's how I've done that, is a lot of his his recommendations. So yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint, just like any other startup or anything you do.
So, Rebecca, for listeners who want to take the next step in their career or support someone else's journey, what's one actionable thing that they can do today?
Join Bluebird Leaders, of course.
Love it. Love it.
um, yes, and come to the conference, right? That's an actual, definitely actionable step. But you know, go out and message somebody that you look up to on LinkedIn and send them a send them a DM and ask them to meet. You'll be amazed at how many people are willing to give you a 15-30 minute meeting and just see what you're inquiring about. So yeah, go out and do that and keep posting, because silent listeners are out there.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again, Rebecca. and really wish you continued success with Bluebird Leaders. No
Thank
doubt we'll
you.
continue to hear amazing success stories coming out of that, and really just look forward to speaking with you again and see how things have changed over
Yes.
the years.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for your time and having me on. It's been great.
Thanks again for listening to Quick Hits, a healthcare technology podcast for healthcare technology professionals. Follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to reach out to us with feedback, suggestions, or even people in the healthcare technology industry you think we should interview. Send an email to quickhits@healthdatamovers.com.